I met her a minute ago. You'll be at the zoning meeting on Thursday?
Hi. Oh, Kelly. It's nice to meet you too. Well, girl, you have no idea how glad we are to see you.
That's what I said. I'm
I'm
good
just
cheer.
gonna hold my head down because I ain't had a chance to go up there and see about all the crap over my discrimination.
We're really interested now.
Can y'all believe?
She's in the back. I saw her in the back. I think Martin was talking to her.
Wasn't built in it?
I want it to be illegal to build crap. And right now, you can build crap.
I think this right here might be something. How are you with the Minerva thing that they're trying to do with the 216?
Okay, I wanted to make sure that we're killing that. Yep.
That's ridiculous.
It'll be months before that's done, but that,
Not human, they're
You're getting beat up, man.
yeah.
Two people from Sun City have been like, I hear he's on the tape from these guys. I'm like, they're lying to you, and whoever told you that
That's what
knows that.
Yeah, we'll talk. What is it?
The one I sent you this morning, did you give him a call?
I haven't yet. I've been in court or on the phone literally
That's okay.
nonstop.
Hey, do you know Pastor? Oh, hi, Vicky.
I'm stealing your pen.
Probably.
Stolen.
Is he out there?
Pen stolen.
Okay.
I stole your pen.
The purple pen?
Is it theft if I tell you that I stole it?
Oh, I thought that was somebody else. Okay.
No, it's far.
Just a reappropriation.
That's far.
I've reappropriated your pen. Mr. Chairman.
One minute.
What's happening? I came here like 45 minutes early, so, and yeah,
That's smart. I got some stuff I need
Oh,
to talk with you about.
I came
okay,
early
then.
to chat about this. and
Yes,
like,
okay.
you invited
Good evening and welcome to the Spalding County Board of Commissioners Extraordinary Session. It is Monday, May 16th, 2022 at 6 p.m. I would request everyone to please silence your cell phones and all other electronic devices. Those of you that this is the first time, I would tell you, you should have a agenda from the back of the room, and you'll see exactly what the commissioners see on the big screen. So if you can't see the big screen, I'd suggest you move to where you can see the big screen. I'd like to ask Pastor Mark James from the Life Song Church to deliver the invocation, and Commissioner Ryan Bolden from District 4 to lead us in the pledge.
right up there.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mark. Yes.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for your infinite grace and mercy and love to us. We thank you that you know us better than ourselves. And we thank you for this opportunity that we have to make this city and this area a better place. Father, we pray for your wisdom. We pray for your guidance. And Father, we just pray that all that is done today brings you honor and brings you glory. I pray for wisdom for those that you have called to serve, and we thank you for their willingness to do that, all of those who are gathered in this room. And we pray again that all that we do today brings you honor and glory and puts a smile upon your face. And we ask all of this in your Son Jesus' most amazing, most wonderful, and most glorious name. And we all said, Amen.
If you would, please join me in the pledge of our flag.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor James. We appreciate it. Thank you, Commissioner Bolden. Item number 4, presentation and proclamations. consider approval of a proclamation declaring the week of May 15th through 21st, 2022 as National Public Works Week in Spalding County. Dr. Ledbetter.
Thank you. I'd like to read the proclamation this evening. It's in recognition of the National Public Works Week, May 15 through 21, 2022. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, emergency management, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of people of Spalding County. And these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are federally mandated first responders and the engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Spalding County to gain knowledge and maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works, first responders, and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2022 marks the 62nd Annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association, Canadian Public Works Association, and be it known, now therefore, that the Spalding County Board of Commissioners do hereby designate the week of May 15 through 21, 2022 as National Public Works Week and urge all citizens to recognize the substantial contribution the Spalding County Public Works Department makes in protecting our health, safety, and quality of life.
Yes. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman. Second.
And a second, any more discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by raising your hand. All right, TJ, come forward.
Is he here?
He is.
He's here.
We're gonna get a picture. Yeah, this is a big deal for public works. Trying to get in the right place so that DeAndre gets us in the right place. Yes, that's right.
You're hiding the handshake.
Oh, okay.
Smile.
Couple words from you, please.
On behalf of all of the Public Works employees, which also includes our shop, our solid waste, and our signs division, thank you very much. And we're always proud to do a good job for the citizens of Spalding County.
Thank you. Good job. Item number 5. Consider approval of financial statements for the 10 months that ended 30 April 2022. Ms. Garrison?
I've included a statement for the capital projects T-Splost account. And next month, you'll have a debt service account.
Perfect.
We will receive the first payment of the T-Splost at the end of this month for April. So you'll see that in your statements next month. It's always a month behind.
And we're getting ready to receive second tranche of money from the president on American Rescue.
Yes, I've made the application for it, so
Okay, good. That's order of
just
magnitude.
waiting.
Yes, $6 million plus or something like that?
Yes.
Okay. Comments or questions from the, all right. Motion to approve, second. I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand.
Thanks, Tim.
5-0, motion carries. Thank you. For the public, in the next couple of months is when we will put our budget together. There will be an opportunity for public hearings. This is the time to come and ask questions and see what we're doing with your money. So please don't hesitate to come, ask questions, and look and learn from how we're doing it.
Most important meetings of the year.
Yes.
And as you heard Commissioner say, this is probably for a lot of people, the most important meeting of the year to understand. Item number 6, citizen comments. Speakers must sign up prior to the meeting and provide their names, addresses, and the topics they wish to discuss. Speakers must direct your comments to the board and not to individual commissioners or to the audience. Personal disagreements with individual commissioners or county employees are not a matter of public concern, and personal attacks will not be tolerated. The chairman has the right to limit your comments in an interest of disposing of the county's business in an effective and a respectful manner. Speakers will be allocated 3 minutes to speak on their chosen topics as they relate to matters pertaining to the jurisdiction of our Board of Commissioners. No questions will be asked by any commissioners during the citizen comments. Outbursts from the audience will not be tolerated. Common courtesy and civility are expected at all times during the meeting. No speaker will be permitted to speak more than 3 minutes or more than once unless the board votes to suspend this rule. Dr. Ledbetter.
First up this evening is John Rope, wishing to speak on roads.
Sir, please step forward and please state your name and your address for the record into the microphone.
My name is John Pope. My address is 428 Valley Hill Road in Griffin.
Okay? Welcome.
I appreciate you ladies and gentlemen listening to me. We have a problem on Valley Hill and adjoining roads with trees hanging over the road and hanging down. When it rains, they actually hang down to the road. And also we've got some places in Valley Hill Road that back during the winter they froze, and they actually made little mounds sticking up in the middle of the road. And they're pretty dangerous for people to drive over. And as far as the limbs go, I know y'all, it don't matter to y'all, but I have a motor home and it's pretty tall. And a lot of times those limbs hit my windshield, and it really worries me. So I'd like to see something done, you know, to eliminate some of that. And I guess that's about all I need to say.
Okay, we appreciate that. Dr. Ledbetter, I assume you can look into this for us,
I will.
please?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Give Dr. Ledbetter a second to copy all his stuff down.
Next up is Miss Vicki Hennessy.
Hello, Ms. Hennessy, it's good to see you again.
It's good to
Please
see
state
you.
your name and address.
Okay, it's Vicki Hennessy, 208 Seminary Ridge, Griffin, Georgia, 30224. I am here to speak up as a citizen, an animal lover and advocate, as someone who served on the Animal Control Advisory Board for over 10 years and helped champion many of the animal ordinances that we have now, to include our wonderful new animal shelter. I actually am here to talk about what I see and what I hear, not about opinion, because I'm there almost on a daily basis. First, I want to start out by saying that many moons ago, one of our goals in asking for a new shelter was we wanted to lead the community in displaying the worth of responsible pet ownership by making an investment in the proper tools and facilities that would assist the animal community as a whole, by building a family-friendly, inviting community animal shelter that would change the face of animal control from a place in the past where unwanted animals were collected and euthanized to a welcoming center of community resources for responsible pet ownership, and the first place to look and shop for your new forever pet. And I think we're there, guys, and I'm very well pleased. Okay?
Thank you.
I am in touch with the animal shelter daily and visit several times a week, unannounced usually. I help administrate vaccines, temperament test community cats, rally sponsorships to help with spay and neuter animals and animals that are in need. We also do not euthanize the barn and community cats. We fix them and find communities for them to work in. All breeds are even having a chance to be adopted now. I serve as liaison for the animal shelter through the PetSense adoption program, and we have their full support of PetSmart, PetSense, Tractor Supply. Also, we also have a PetSense grooming day that is coming up, community adoption events. They have donated beds. All of our animals have beds at the animal shelter, and Mr. Smartweb made sure that he went and not only got one load, but got 2 loads, so that we have plenty. There's a volunteer program that is there that we have longed for 10 years, and that we were promised that when the new animal shelter came about, and it didn't happen, and it is happening now. And we have people coming and volunteering, and they're walking the dogs, and they're sitting with the animals, and they're socializing, they're reading, and they're petting them. And we want everyone to know that Mr. Webb wants that. Not just on Saturdays, he'd like it to be every day. And so we need people to come and socialize and be at the animal shelter and to volunteer and even to help out at PetSense so that we can maintain the adoption center. He has many new and innovative ideas coming down the path. The cages and the runs are clean every time that I come in there. The animals are happy, well cared for, and they have food and water. And I would be the first one that they weren't. And y'all mark my words on that.
We agree.
Less than 3 months, intake is up. All the strays are being taken in off the road from dangerous situations. Adoptions are up, and I'm sure he'll tell you numbers. Euthanization is still down. And I just want to say that I'm very well pleased with the direction that we're going, and I only see more good, positive things happening in the community as volunteers, rescues rally around the new Spalding County Animal Control and the new leadership that is in that, and that is Vicki Kinsey's. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vicki. Appreciate it.
Next up, Omisha Newton wishes to speak about Land Bank.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, Omisha Newton. My address is 120 Lynn Lane, Griffin, Georgia 30223.
Thank you.
Good evening, excuse me, everybody. Good evening, everyone. I would like to begin by giving thanks to the commissioners and the city for allowing me to stand before and discuss the tragic time my family and I are experiencing. In 2017, I was given the opportunity to purchase a home from the Square Foot Ministry, which is a nonprofit organization that is home-based out of Peachtree, Georgia. In 2018, I went through some personal issues that led me to lose my job and file bankruptcy twice in order to keep my home. Last year in July, God reunited me with a good friend, Daniel Ed Bland III, who I've known since our Griffin High days. I discussed with Daniel that I wanted to stay on my home, and he accepted the assignment. So here we are. A couple of weeks later, we listed the home. Within 72 hours after listing it, we had several offers over the asking price. At that point, we reached out to Executive Director of Square Foot Ministry, Jeff Williams, and requested a payoff. Jeff stated that he would do everything in his power to stop the sale and move forward with the foreclosure to repossess the home. I then made several attempts to speak with Jeff, but he never answered my calls, emails, or texts. Actually, he told me to reach out to his attorney, Janice Wallace, and Beck and Owen Murray for all future communication. After we've been informed of the title clouds on the property, Janice Wallace informed us that they would not help clear the title or change the scheduled foreclosure sale. So on October the 4th, the day before the closing, the day before the foreclosure, Daniel wired $77,321 to save the home and move forward with the sale. Weeks passed while working out the details between Daniel and the closing attorneys. I was told that the title was clouded and that I would have to pay an attorney to clear the title. I truly believe that the land bank or square foot ministry should pay because they responsible, because clearing the title, at the closing, I had no idea that the title was clouded. I wasn't even offered the title insurance or informed that anything was wrong with the title at the closing.
Your 3 minutes is
Okay.
up, ma'am.
Okay.
Have you got just another sentence or two?
On January the 4th, my house was shot up. 30 bullets were shot into my house. And that was after, we had filed a mortgage complaint with the Griffin Police Department. This has been a tremendous tragic time for me and my family, and today we still going through this. I would like to sell the home and move to another town.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Ledbetter?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Daniel Bland.
What's this again?
Land Bank.
Land Bank, okay. State your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Daniel Bland, and my newest Griffin address is 120 Lynn Lane. And I'm here by divine appointment by the Almighty God and Creator. And I want to first tell you my name is Daniel, which means Hebrew is for God is my judge. Prophesying the ending from the beginning, God revealed in Genesis in the first book in the ancient sacred scriptures, and I quote, Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder by the path that biteth the horse's heel, so that his rider shall fall off backwards, in Genesis 49. In your elevated positions, you are what us common folks might call on a seat of high horses, but the Bible in this sacred book, it calls you overseers and shepherds of the flock. And so I want to use the balance of my time to remind you of some commands that the Most High has made. Amisha's already spoke to you about the fraud and deceptive business practices taking place in this community and being ignored by the authorities that we've gone to so far. And I would also take this opportunity to put on the record and testify that investigator Stan Phillips gave false testimony under oath, which has already been presented under oath by myself in front of Judge Edwards. And again, it was nothing was done. So here I stand before you to remind you of these eternal commandments of our Creator. Leviticus 19, do not pervert justice, do not show partiality to the poor or favoritism to the great, but judge your neighbor fairly. James, if you keep the royal law found in Scripture, love your neighbor as yourself, you're doing right. But if you show favoritism and sin, you are convicted by the law as lawbreakers. My brothers and sisters, believers in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ must not show favoritism. I solemnly command you in the presence of God and Jesus Christ and the highest angels to obey these instructions without taking sides and showing favoritism to anyone. Romans, God does not show favoritism. Deuteronomy, for the Lord your God is the God of gods and the Lord of lords. He is the great God, the mighty and awesome God who shows no partiality and cannot be bribed. Colossians, for the wrongdoer will be paid back for the wrong he has done, and there is no partiality. Chronicles, Josaphat said to them, watch what you do, because you are not judging for people but for the Lord. He will be with you when you make a decision. Now let each of you fear the Lord. Watch what you do, because the Lord your God wants people to be fair. He wants all people to be treated the same, and he doesn't want decisions influenced by money. Job, who shows no partiality to princes, nor regardeth the rich more than the poor, for they are all hands of his work. Proverbs, these are also sayings to the wise, to show no partiality in judging. That is not good. Exodus, do not follow the crowd in doing wrong. When you give testimony in a lawsuit, do not pervert justice by siding with the crowd. And at the end of 7 days, the word of the Lord came upon me. Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Israel. Whenever you hear a word from my mouth, you shall give them warning from me. 4 more sentences?
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
You shall give them warning from me. If I say to the wicked, you shall surely die, and you give him no warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way in order to save his life, that wicked person shall die for his iniquity, but his blood I will require at your hand. But if you warn the wicked, and he does not turn from his wickedness or from his wicked way, he shall die for his iniquity, but you will have delivered your soul. Again, if a righteous person turns from his righteousness and commits injustice, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Because you have not warned him, he shall die for his sin, and his righteous deeds that he has done shall not be remembered, but his blood I will require at your hand. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item number 7, minutes. Consider approval of the minutes of the Spalding County Board of Commissioners Extraordinary Session and Executive Session on April 18th, 2022. The Spalding County Board of Commissioners Work Session on April 30, 2022. And the Spalding County Board of Commissioners Regular Meeting on May 2nd, 2022. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please state, please raise your hand. Excuse me. Thank you. Motion carries. There is no, item number 8, old business. There is no old business tonight. Item number 9, new business. Number 1, DeAndre Smith to update the Board of Commissioners on Spalding County YouTube and social media post for the county. Dr. Ledbetter.
It is my privilege to introduce DeAndre Smith this evening for him to share with the community what he's got going on from our citizen engagement specialist.
All right, good evening, commissioners. How y'all doing today?
Good evening.
Good.
That's good, that's good. What about everybody in the crowd? Y'all doing good? That's awesome, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm here to bring up to date all the great things that are happening in Spalding County and that are gonna happen in the future. So first of all, we're gonna start off with our social media platforms. We got Facebook. If you do not know, it is at In Spalding. So make sure that you get connected that way. Also next we have Instagram, which is at In Spalding CO. Next we have LinkedIn, which is at at Spalding County. And so all these social media platforms are ways that we connect to our community. And we wanna make sure we reach them as much as we can. We know now that easy way to reach people is going to be on social media platforms, on newspapers, just TV ads, commercials don't work as much as having that gadget in your hand and is automatically there. So we want to reach them that way. Also, we started out with Spalding TV. This platform was created through YouTube, which everyone please subscribe. It's showing all the great things that are happening in Spalding County and that are going to happen. And we make sure that we're trying to highlight just everything possible that we can. So not only we're highlighting Spalding County, but we're highlighting the citizens of Spalding County. We want to make sure that we're showing that Spalding County is a unique place to live. We have created many videos to tell our story. So let's check some out in just a second. But first of all, we're going to start off with the channel that's linked to the YouTube page. It's going to be Board of Commissioner page, which we have people now watching live online. So you can watch the Board of Commissioner meetings. You can watch the Board of Elections, Board of Appeals, Water Authority, Planning Commission, and many other ones. We also have, I think, Board of Advisory that we're working on to get connected from the Senior Center. And just plenty more that's on its way. So let's start with a video that we have created to reach the citizen. This video is from Dr. Steve Ledbetter. This is going to be about our Spalding County comp plan.
Restaurants, our parks,
So as we know, that is 2042, which that's a long way from now. But please just think about the generation that is coming right behind us. Let's think about them. So make sure that you get a chance to get out there, you know, let your voice be heard, you know, answer the survey, show up to the rest of the meetings that we'll have. We'll definitely appreciate that. So let's go to the next video. This video right here is from Reverend Lacey. This is a video that we created, me and Morgan Cantrell. It was to highlight citizens of Spalding County and also City of Griffin. I'm not gonna leave them out. And this is just a Black History Month, just show inspirational leaders that we have. And also too, we had Commissioner Flowers and Commissioner Johnson that appeared in this as well. So guys, you know that year of 2022 is the year of planning. We want to raise the bar, but before we do that, we have to plan. We are doing many great things, and we got many great things to come. So let's just work hard. Let's just tell our story, show how unique Spalding County is. So if you guys need anything from me, definitely let me know.
Thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
job you're doing.
Very good.
Great job.
I shortened that too, okay, y'all. Y'all got
Great job,
anything for me?
DeAndre.
We good?
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Consider adoption of the logo for our Legacy Museum. Kelly and, yeah, come on.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure to be with you all this evening. And Leisure Services is raising the bar every day, raising the bar. And one of the most amazing projects we're part of now is creating a history museum, an African American history museum right here in Spalding County. We have a treasured facility. It is a Rosenwald school. There is a lot of things happening with this project every day. And next steps for us was to have a logo created to represent the museum so that we can take additional next steps as we plan things and create exhibits and create an online presence as well. It was important for us to choose a graphic designer that is well familiar with the county logo, with the city logo, that has our colors. And Brian Miller did that work for us. He's on the steering committee for the museum and did this at no cost for us. So it went before the steering committee and unanimously approved, and then went to the Parks and Leisure Advisory Commission last Thursday evening and was also unanimously approved.
Very good. Okay.
Are there any questions? Morgan, you want to add something? Let's add a little bit more about the elements and kind of lead them into what they're really looking at.
Sure. So one of the beautiful things about this museum and what it's creating is an opportunity to tell a story that has not yet been told. And this story isn't just a single individual's story. It's a story of a community and all of the different individuals that make up that community. So as Kelly and I were speaking with Brian about creating a logo that is representative of that, something that came to his mind was Kinta cloth and how Kinta cloth is created with several different patterns and colors. And so when he created this, he took the colors from the Spalding County and Griffin logos and created geometric shapes of the O, L, and M, which when patterned together appears to kind of be like Kenta cloth. It's different colors and shapes that come together to create a big fabric, which is representative of the fabric, the narrative, the story that we're hoping to preserve and share inside of our legacy museum.
Morgan, I'm used to seeing a logo. We have Spalding County, logo. Have to admit, I'm not used to seeing a whole bunch of logos.
So what you're seeing is, in the top left, that is the letterhead logo. And then to the right, you'll see social media platform logos and how they would convert. And then you would see a single color logo. You want a logo to look good in color, in its full color, and then also in a single color in whatever application you're using the logo, whether it be a single color screen on a shirt, or even in grayscale, when you're copying grayscale, it would still look good.
So I'm sorry, the social media one, these logos, are these gonna be where you can actually go on to Facebook and social, I mean, I see two of them here, so are we gonna choose one, or are we gonna use both of them, or?
The circle primarily, because Facebook and Instagram and even LinkedIn, the profile pic is a circle. And so when we were speaking with Brian, we wanted to ensure that the logo could be transferable, whether it wasn't a square or a circle image.
So what you have before you is really not a choice, like we're asking you to make a choice. The choice is what we're presenting, and it's called a family of logos so that you can use them in different applications.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
So
If
we're
you
being
look on
asked to
page
approve
2.
all of them, right? Like as a block, like because for different uses, we're gonna use a different version of each.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you'll scroll to the next page, it will give you an idea. So that is how we're using actual images of
It's pretty powerful.
the history emerging through the letters of OLM. And then if you'll scroll down a little bit further, you can see that the single color in the lower left, and then you can see the single color in the sepia colored photograph.
All right, now, I assume, I'm sorry, I'm in the technical side of this, not the artistic side of it. I assume that we have the words on opening and closing, the size, the colors, and all that stuff. Most of the logos I have were very specifically done that says you can't do this to it, you can't do that,
Yes.
can't change the color. I assume we have all that as in the
Yes.
background behind all this.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was one reason why we wanted to work with Brian on this.
Yeah.
Because he's used to that, with the colors are coded. It's a coded color.
Yeah, he walked me through 3 years ago. You can't do this, you can't, so, okay, so I wanted to make sure we had that. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Great work for Brian.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yes. All right, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Motion carries. Thank you.
you so
Great
much.
job here.
Very good.
Thank you, Morgan.
It's a pleasure
Yes.
working on this project.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. All right. Item number 3, consider reappointment of Ricardo McCrary, Director of Spalding County E911, and John Hamilton, City of Griffin Fire Chief, to the Region 4 Emergency Medical Services Advisory Council for a term to expire on 30 June 2025. Motion to approve?
Do they still want it? Because we'd love to have them.
Yes.
It's part of their job.
Look, they
They
want
got
it,
to go.
We'll re them up.
So, motion to approve the reappointment of Ricardo McCrary to the Emergency Medical Services Advisory Council, and Chief John Hamilton from the City of Griffin Fire Chief for that appointment as well, ending on June 30th, 2025.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Motion carries. Thank you. consider update from Chief Marshal Webb regarding the animal disaster relief trailer housed at the animal shelter and code enforcement. Chief Marshal.
Good evening, everyone. So everyone know I'm Chief Marshal. Marshal Brent is not here right now. I want to just update y'all on a couple of things on both jobs. So over the last 30 days, we've had a lot of cases that I hadn't been able to get to yet. I apologize for that, but I got 37 cases of 40 violations and 22 notices of violations and full inspection. Of that, 9% has been commercial and 91% has been residential. The picture to the right is a picture, incident of some commercial evidence that we obtained with the Code Enforcement Department. Would you go to the next one? All right. So this right here, on the commercial, we had to call EPD out. We had hazardous waste that was spilled all and on the property. We're trying to get water samples done in the area. This has been here a couple of years. I was advised that the county had this property cleaned up before. I also had Commissioner Flowers come out to look at this as well with the fire inspector. We have all kind of code violations. Residential, you got anything from tall grass to just anything. Both of these pictures of residential, this is the first one, residential, is an unsafe structure. We have plenty of these around the county, and outside storage, all on the property, all in the front. That truck, it is inoperable, and it's also outside storage. And we've issued citations for some of these properties, and if I've missed someone and didn't get a chance to call them back, I'm apologizing now, but if they bear with me, we will soon get around. I'm training my other marshal, and we are still looking for a marshal, so we'll get there. Our county marshals, we're all certified law enforcement officers who we respond to complaint regarding code violations. The marshal's office investigate complaints of violation of county and state nuisance and abatement laws, county ordinance, or codes to verify or dismiss that complaint. So sometime, just like today, I did have to go out and dismiss a complaint because it was on North McDonald, but the way it looked was someone was building a house on the same property, but when you draw it up on the map, it's actually to the left, but it's directly behind it. All right. Concerning our the county's disaster trailer, we deploy it every month 2 times. Basically, when we're deploying it, what we're doing it is for marketing. We ride it around so people can see it. That's part of the agreement that we're supposed to do. We have used it in one case, as you can see these pictures here. It's not only a weather disaster, but when I first got here, we went to a home, and we've since went to several homes where people had 60+ animals. So we need that disaster trailer when we are out, so we can process the scene, document everything that we need for prosecution. So we're gonna use that heavily. I had a couple of my ACOs already doing FEMA training, and we're gonna get everybody up to that standard. We're working well with the EMA director to get all the FEMA training that everyone needs. So, from February the 22nd to now, we have 228 adoptions. Right now, we have 111 animals in the animal shelter. We're working well with a lot of rescue groups, as Vicky was saying. We have volunteers in one picture that once we brought the beds, they came out and they helped assemble the beds. In the paperwork that I presented to each one of you, we have a volunteer manual that I would like for y'all to look at and a volunteer application. This is some of the things me and some of the volunteers and everybody have got together, because you gotta have some form or just letting people know that, hey, you are a volunteer and what you are there to assist Spalding County employees. This volunteer manual, it tells what we want to do, where we want to go. It gives you your guidelines of conduct, confidentiality, and wish list, just pretty much anything that you can do. And then we have a volunteer application that's with it, and you sign the agreement. Basically, if y'all would look over that, I think that will be sufficient, just in case someone get injured, or, you know, by a scratch or a bite, that I think that should, maybe our attorney can look over it, but I think looking at that, Hall County uses the same format and it's working pretty good for them. So, and we also do a background check on our volunteers. I think all of that is important. But like I said, we have 2 employees, that is Hayden Broach and Taylor Loudermilk to the far right. We also did some training. We're all sitting at the table with the Department of Agriculture. I also gave you a proposed contract. This is a rough draft that we received today. The new shelter has to have a sprinkler system. We don't have a sprinkler system. And the 49,000, like you said, this is a rough draft, but the 49,000 for the lines and the 64,000 for the sprinkler system are, like you said, they're a rough draft. They're gonna come back out and see if they can get it lower, because we gotta walk through the place, and it might be some water lines and stuff, that's already there that they can tap into to help us with the cost. But this is something that the Department of Agriculture, noticed that we did not have in the new shelter. So we will have to look at getting a sprinkler system. The fire marshal, have been working with the sprinkler system people. So, he's supposed to come back the next time, or if y'all have any further questions on that.
We'll bring it up at the end.
We learned a lot with that, but like I said, we do want, volunteers, and because it's a nice shelter, we want everybody to realize that you're a part of the community. We work for you guys, and we want y'all all to come out and be a part of it. The next thing is a Fix Georgia 22 grant application. We have a Miss Jane Reed and some other people. Miss Vicky Hennessy is a part of it. This is a grant that we're trying to get for Spalding County in the sum of $25,520. They're gonna target, rural areas. That's where it seems the greater need is. That's where we're picking up all these animals at. And we are enforcing the spay neuter. We don't waver on that. When we go out and your animals are not spayed neuter, we do write citations. That's a given. And we have to be that way. And it seems harsh, but we have to be that way, because if we want to reduce the number of animals that come into the animal shelter and get potentially euthanized, and these rescue groups are filling up. We are doing whatever we can with all rescue groups that are state license and that will come to Spalding County and help us out. But, we are looking for every grant that we can find to help Spalding County. One of the grant writers asked me to, ask you all, if y'all, when y'all are out in your districts, if y'all see a problem area that we might not see, if y'all would let us know, so they can enter this data and we can go ahead and get this grant in place. It'll be a great thing. Also, this is a list, inventory on the, disaster trailer, and I just got that list for everyone to look over.
It's just an update, right? It is. Okay, comments or questions for Chief Marshall?
I mean, I think about how many work orders we did with the animal shelter, and I'm not sure how we missed the sprinkler system. We had 4 or 5 at least, yes.
So here's my issue. None of us are engineers. As my third try at pre-calc, and I finally got a B. So, that said, we hired really smart engineers who looked at this, who charged us money to look at this, and went, "This is the acceptable thing." And then we had a work order. Oh, we missed this thing. Oh, we had another work. Oh, we missed this thing. Oh, we missed this thing. Oh, we missed this thing. And now it's built. Oh, we forgot sprinklers? You forgot sprinklers? So it's very upsetting that someone came in here and said, "We're professionals at this. Hey, man, you missed, okay, hey, oh, you missed 2. All right. You missed 3. You missed 4. You've missed 5. You missed these aren't little things." And that's incredibly disappointing. And these engineering firms that told us this was the product, that we're good, we're done, have insurance. And we might want to look into that.
I got a question about the commercial business. I think you mentioned there was 9 of them that actually had gotten cited, I want to believe, you
It was
said?
9%. I've actually
9%?
cited. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I actually cited more,
Okay.
businesses than that. I even pulled a license the other day.
So usually when you get your business license renewal and things like that, I mean, I know when people go out and take a look at all that and they have to, kind of like, there's a certain code you still have to meet. I know I do. But, you know, every year to get that and things you have to have in place. Do we not have that here?
So, I don't
Inside
wanna-
the city, we do.
I
Well,
don't,
it's I'm in the city, that's why. Never mind.
I don't want to speak out of turn on that, but we
Okay.
do have our new person here.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure, she'll be able
All
to
right,
address
that's
that.
right. We have a
for
new
you.
person here. I was just wondering.
Okay.
So,
Ms.
I totally agree with,
Commissioner Dutton?
Commissioner James, yes, that there needs to be some reckoning for this, okay? The same way, it needs to be some reckoning about the land bank doing people property, selling people stuff, and the title is not clear. The question is, I don't know how that's gonna get paid, but this, obviously, we need this immediately,
Exactly.
because this is a USDA issue.
We can't not do it.
Yeah.
But-
We can also plan to try to see if we can get reimbursed or.
Yeah, the accountability
do
falls
something.
on them.
I'm so sorry that you missed this thing when
Yeah.
you sold us this and bid for this amount. But this should include all of these things, and you're liable for it. That's
Stephanie,
why
we
you got
just, are we
insurance.
just over here being mad about nothing, or?
You're obviously not being mad about nothing. I mean, this
Oh,
is
okay, okay, I just wanna make sure before we get all into
But
that.
do we have any legal claim against, you know, the engineer to collect or whatever they need to do to get it done right without any cost to the county?
That I can't answer without going back and reviewing the contract, but we'll certainly make.
The answer to most
do
legal
that
questions is
review.
maybe, so, you know.
Okay, well, we'll
like,
take that.
Maybe,
So,
maybe.
hearing that we're needing to spend $110,000, there's really no place else to get that except from the 2016 SPOS. It was a 2016 SPOS project, wasn't it?
Correct, it
Yes,
was.
that's correct.
Yep. As were the other 4 change orders. Oh, we forgot this. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I think
this
we
is a
need to figure out
requirement.
how we're gonna fix it now, and then we need
then
to
go after
roll
them.
on whether or not we can get something back, because clearly, anything could happen in a new building if it burns up because we don't have sprinklers.
Right,
That is
you're
correct.
agreeing to move forward and
Yeah.
with this project does not in any way reduce your,
Right.
any claim that you
I
make.
mean, I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I mean, just looking at how many pennies I got in this hand and how many I got in this one, the only place that I know that we can do that funding from is through
I'm
the
just
SPOS.
wondering, was there anything written, and I'm just after the fact now, I know, that, you know, once a building, you know, gets completed, to what we feel like is quote unquote satisfaction, is there another walkthrough? I mean, it's like another inspection that goes in to say, okay, we've done all these things, you know, and this meets this standard, and we've done the things that we're
Punch
supposed to
list.
for safety reasons?
There were various inspections
That is correct.
done and.
And it was still missed.
Multiple inspections done and almost every time you were presented with a change order for things like the improper latches on doors and that. sort of
And like little, hey, we forgot a, you
Happen.
go, okay. But like, it wasn't just an engineering firm. It was an engineering firm that does this. That knows all these rules and comes and goes, we forgot to tell you about this rule. But we hired you and paid you a premium because you know all these rules.
like that. Oh, shucks, hand in my pocket, sorry.
And when you bid at a government and you say, you're gonna give us a completed project, and this is how much we're going to charge you for this completed project, I don't think they should come later and say,
Say,
oh, we need
here's some
more.
more stuff.
No, I'm sorry, you bid this, you owe us what you bid for.
Well, I
We need
understand,
to
I mean,
look
like
back at
Commissioner
their
Flores
bond
Taylor.
documents as
That's
well.
correct.
I see where we have to go ahead and make the completion now, but I do believe
Yeah.
we do need to find some way to go back after them and make them pay.
And there were two firms.
Definitely.
There were four before now, this is the fifth.
All right.
I agree with that.
And several of them were, I mean, we're gonna have $500,000 or so.
Do we have to, do we have a motion to immediately do the
Yeah.
water,
Yeah, motion to
approve the water
approve the water, because we got,
The sprinkler system.
yeah. the
sprinkler system?
And
Could you make that motion contingent upon my review of the contract? Because all we have here is a proposal.
Draw my motion and then make a new motion that is to approve this upon Stephanie's reviewing thereof.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Okay, I have a second because I have a question. We need to fix it anyway.
Yep.
Regardless of what the contract
But there
says.
might be some nuance that she's gotta switch or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
but
box.
sometimes these contracts have language in there that we just can't agree to, so we
Yeah.
have.
Okay, all right.
Okay, that's
All right, any
Yeah,
more
it's-
discussion on this?
Can you
It's
give
not,
me a
it's not
dollar?
the doing of it, it's the
Yeah.
how it's.
What does it say?
So you're
145?
yeah, you're not giving me a dollar figure, you're just indicating that you want this fixed. Is that correct?
Okay, I mean, we have, I mean, I don't know if this has to be
It sounds
bid
ominous
out.
when you say it like that, I don't know.
I mean, does this hit the marker for what has to be bid out, or can it come under that amount where county manager can say, that's the first thing, because it's
Look-
64,000 and then 49, so we're talking 100 and,
It-
I know you're adding it up.
And in big letters, ballpark price, so this is not even.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm thinking if it's more than that, we probably need to at least try to get some,
Yeah, we're gonna do this right. I wanna make sure that we're bidding this work out because we want to make sure that we're getting the best price possible for the work that needs to be done.
125?
that was about
Up to, I'll say up to 125.
Okay, so, but he already made a motion,
Yeah.
so James, would you consider amending your motion, say repairs up to 100, and what'd you say,
Hold on, I don't-
25,000?
Hold on, I don't think I can now that it's seconded.
Okay, I'll undo mine. Did I second it?
Yeah,
Yes,
so
you
you
did.
can withdraw your second.
Rescind my second.
Okay, then all right, so I gotta rescind my motion then. Okay, so let's make a new motion. These are fun. Okay, all right, so I move that we empower the county manager to bid out a project to install the required sprinklers and water systems at the animal shelter, up to 125,000 at most.
With
Second.
contingent. With contingent.
And subject to
Stephanie's reading the contract.
Yes.
I second that motion.
All right,
Check everybody's boxes now, okay. all right.
everybody good with it? All right, any more discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. And County Manager, I think
Got it.
that also our intent is for you to go after.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
thank you.
That's secondary, but
Yes.
Yes.
hell's bells, guys. Like,
We need to go after that. All right, anything else from you, Chief Marshal?
No, I'm just glad to be here and thank y'all.
Thank you for what
I
you're
have a
doing.
question.
You've got a big mountain to climb. Just keep climbing.
So where are we with our our personnel that is supposed to be transferring from the city of Griffin?
That will be that question.
Would that be you, or are these other two I'm looking at over here?
That will be that way.
Code enforcement?
Okay, I guess there's no answer for that right now.
Okay.
Steve not.
Right now, there's
Thank you very much.
two
I've been gone
people
for 2 weeks.
doing
I don't know
it.
what you're talking about.
Two people doing it, the chief marshal and the second marshal that's being trained up on how to do all of this stuff as she transfers over. And there's a big, big mountain for you to climb.
It'll be okay.
Okay.
Very good.
All right, thank you. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Marshall.
All right. Item number 6. The Spalding County Board of Commissioner at the extraordinary session on June 17th.
Nope.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Number 5. I'm rescinding. Consider request to adopt an amended and restated resolution for the county employees 401A. Dr. Ledbetter. And
You want to do this? Feel free.
I don't mind. It's my privilege to introduce Miles Neville.
Great, thanks a lot. Good evening. This is just a restatement of the 401A plan for all the other employees that aren't senior management like we did a month or so ago, a month and a half ago. No changes to the plan whatsoever. We're just required by law to restate it every so often. And so this is the time.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Questions?
Yes,
Commissioner
Mr. Chairman and County Manager, I just don't understand why everybody can get retirement out of this except for the commissioners. Every X on here is,
open that up. That
that
didn't come
says,
from me.
no, Board of Commissioners not eligible. So I'm gonna stay here for 20 years and all I'm gonna get is a T-shirt.
And a thank you.
Oh, yeah, that totally makes a
Hearty
difference.
handshake,
You get a
I
picture
think
of the
is-
courthouse.
Miss Gwen.
That's right, I can picture the courthouse, that's
No,
right.
Dom,
Miss Gwen, we don't have T-shirts in the budget, sorry.
The thank you looks bigger and better all the time.
What courthouses we do?
all righty then. Let's go on forward. Thank you, Miles.
Public servant, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm done.
All right. We've had a motion, right? All right. Any more discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Motion carries. Thank you.
Miles wins the evening, that was the best.
Thank you, Miles. Item number 6 now. The Spalding County Board of Commissioners at their extraordinary session on June 17th, 2019, approved an amendment to the personnel ordinances that would amend the personnel policy to allow forfeited, exempt, offset hours to roll over into a retirement exempt offset account to be applied towards service time upon retirement. Maximum hours allowed is 2,080 hours for employees not assigned to fire protection activities and 2,912 for employees assigned to fire protection services. This amendment was approved unanimously by the Board of Commissioners. However, the necessary amendments were never drafted nor signed. All right, there were 2 of you on the board at that time, making sure Commissioner
Yeah.
Flowers Taylor
Thi-
and Commissioner Johnson.
This was something that we talked about at the first retreat that we had at the senior center. And one of the things they talked about was we had some folks retiring at the time, and their attitude towards sick time saved up and stuff was, yeah, I lose all that, and I'm proud to lose my 800 saved up hours. And, you know, as the token millennial in the room, my jaw was like, what? You're just gonna eat 800 at like, what? You know, it's 20 weeks. And they're like, yeah. I can't believe that our employees would willy-nilly use their off time. Like, it's their off time. Like, they get, what are you talking about? Do you never want someone under the age of 40 to work for you again? Then give them a hard time about their off time. Like, it's their, you know, I was blown, I was just floored. They were just like, yeah, like these these kids today using their off time when they're not really sick, and you're like, what are you talking about, man? Like, it's their accrued time. So we asked them to change it so that if they had saved it up, right, and at the end, it essentially, instead of like paying them out for it, like they could retire that many hours earlier or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Okay.
however that math
So,
worked. And I was just, you remember that? I was like, you're just gonna swallow 800 saved up accrued hours? Yeah.
Director of HR, would you
Just a
like
very
to
different way of
make
thinking,
some comments at this time?
Sure, I'll be glad to. I was not here at the time, and I found out about this just recently. Apparently what you did was said that any unused sick leave over that 960 or that 1277 would go into a bank that could be used towards service at retirement.
Yep.
That's what you approved in the personnel ordinance. But apparently what didn't happen between then and when I came in August was that we didn't amend the defined benefit retirement plan to say that.
Right.
And I didn't know that till recently. Fortunately, in my almost 3 years here, no one has retired and had any time. But now someone's getting close and is asking, and that's when I went, okay, I'll go back and look for the amendment for the change between June and August, and there wasn't one. So I called ACCG, they said, we don't have one, we didn't get one. So that's when I said, we gotta do one, because we approved it in the ordinance, and people are expecting it. And we've been keeping the bank, so to speak, for every person that gets that. There's not many, there's 13 people who have any accumulation over that maximum.
So we're on record basically having this done, is what you're saying?
Yeah, we
You put it in the
Okay,
ordinance.
so
I certainly
just
thought we
need to
did.
do it? I mean, we're on record, so.
I certainly thought we had already done.
so this request is for forfeited exempt offset time. So
This-
people who are department heads don't get this, or they do?
This is for anyone who is over the maximum of 960,
So it just,
or anyone, or firefighters who are at 1277, because they're calculated differently from the rest of us.
so I was thinking, and I may be wrong, I was thinking that they would be paid for those hours. No? How will they use those hours?
It lets you like retire early, like that much earlier.
Well,
Actually, it's the backside of that.
Yeah, it is the backside.
Adds time onto your service toward retirement.
so potentially someone who is a 960 employee could potentially get up to 2,080 hours, which is 1 year of service. And just to give you an example
Which
of
would
how cheap
increase
this
the
really is for us, one person that gets the full 2080, let's say they retire making an average of 50,000 a year, it would get them $83.33 more a month. So it's not an expensive thing. It would take someone to get to the maximum from the day of hire, 32 years.
Of
Yeah,
just saving up all of their
Just
time.
saving it and never using it, it would take 32 years.
So it's a major thing for somebody to have worked that long
Yeah.
and had that much sick
And
leave.
never
And I
used
say
it.
that, part of the reason we were doing it is because it was their time.
Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, you don't, if you leave, you don't get sick pay. You may get your
Right.
average leave, but that was the whole reason behind us wanting to do that, because they were literally having to give away what the
All the time.
equivalents of that
It's a
time
nice
was.
thing to do that doesn't cost a lot of
Yeah.
money.
$86 a month? you said?
$83.33.
Okay.
That's,
I
that's,
remember.
I'm sorry, that's 1 month. So like we've got somebody who's got 283 hours right now, which is approximately the 1 month. They would get $83.33. Now, a $50,000 employee getting the full 2080 is 2%. 1%, 2% for every year of service. So that would be $1,000 more in their retirement check.
Per month.
A year. $1,000 a year more. 50,000 times 2%.
So they'd still be better off.
Well, we won't talk,
Because 50,000.
let's not talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I mean, they weren't getting it
That's
at
just my
all.
quick math.
They
I-
weren't getting
They-
anything.
I told you how
for
I
it
say
before.
pre-calc
That's
They're
right.
giving it away.
Before,
Right.
At least they're getting something, basically.
There's,
all right,
yeah.
do I have a motion to approve?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mr.
don't we already
Chairman, I
go-
would like to approve the,
Hold on, didn't,
approve the amendment and have it drafted and signed to go forward with a plan to allow for, maximum hours allowed for 280 on sick time to go towards employee as credit towards their retirement.
Okay, I have a motion.
I'll second that. I do have a quick question. Is this gonna be as effective today? Are we going back as effective to when we
Well,
first?
we don't need to go backwards because no one's retired that had any.
Okay,
So it'll be effective today.
today, all right.
All right, any more discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. This is one of the, motion carries. This is one of those times where we've got to make sure the paperwork follows along with our decisions. You know, we've got to write it down, make sure that
I
it,
had completely forgot about it. We
yep,
sure did.
gets done.
Once we vote on it, as far as we're concerned, we're done with it, so.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
new share.
yeah.
Thank you,
Raise the
Miles.
bar, y'all, raise the bar.
Thank you, Miles, we
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Miles.
Item number 7, consider request from Georgia Power to acquire a tree trim clearing easement on Spalding County property located at 4245 Old Atlanta Road for a tree trim clearing distribution project. The easement will be approximately 200 linear feet in length. Dr. Ledbetter.
This is a request from Georgia Power. Their letter indicates that as they're working to trim or clear the trees on this project, they're working to create a reliable service that will result in less flickering lights during power outages or even property damage. And this is an easement located at 4245 Old Atlanta Road. It's an easement of 200 linear feet across the property. They are offering to pay the county $1,400 upon receipt of the easement to allow them to do the tree trimming in this area.
Staff recommendation?
Staff recommendation is that we move forward with and support this request from Georgia Power.
So this is Georgia Power asking for a tree trimming easement,
That is correct.
But it's.
because
through the
there's a
middle of
wire
the
going
lot.
across
It's in
our
the
lot.
middle of a lot.
Yeah,
They will be back next month asking for a second one. They're doing more than just trimming trees and doing a lot clearing. They're adding internet service, running the backbone across the county.
So this is our right of way right here. No, that's
That's the
going
property.
sideways.
Yeah, so that's looking at it like this, you know what I'm saying? Because Old Atlanta's.
Oh, I was thinking Old Atlanta was over here up, because it's kind of facing that way, so I'm thinking it's up that way. Which way is, on Exhibit A, which way is Old Atlanta Road?
It's
Atlanta Road. So this is.
I can't see it either.
Okay. So right there, this is the right of way that we're giving them easement across.
That is correct.
But it's really,
What's in the middle?
they can only use it to cut the trees there, which keeps the trees off those power lines.
Off the power lines, but they use the power lines for other things.
And
And
they
who
will butcher
owns
the
that property?
trees that
Us?
they're paying you
Yes,
$14.
We own it.
Yeah, yeah, oh, they're gonna butcher these trees.
Okay, where's Marshall Webb? There's two raggedy houses that people are dumping trash on that same street. Yes, just didn't want to forget that.
Put it on the list.
Old Atlanta Road.
Is it going to impact the collection center at all?
No. There will be no impact to the collection center.
I mean, what's the alternative? Like, we don't let them trim the trees and
Yeah, that's,
the power lines touch them and set them on fire? I mean,
No, it's the utility, we
Yeah,
pay them
they
out.
trim the trees anyway, and they
Yeah,
don't
they
pay
don't
you
do it, or either
$1,400.
with our permission or
exactly,
not.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
all right. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Thank
This
you.
time I've been paid to trim trees. This is, we usually have to pay to trim the trees.
So, yes. Not them give us money.
Item number 8, consider request from Spalding County Public Works Department to declare 3 vehicles, 2 trucks and Big Blue, and 1 piece of equipment as surplus so that they can be sold. Dr. Ledbetter or TJ?
TJ.
TJ.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Just a quick update where we're at on surplus. So far, we've sold 17 vehicles and 5 pieces of equipment for $122,881. And we've just started.
Good.
This next request is for the 3 vehicles and a piece of equipment. I got some special notes here. The motor coach bus, since we have the new one on order, currently we're getting the current bus repaired so that we could sell it in a safe condition. And then the Great All, which is our emergency tree removal piece of equipment that we've had since 1999, has been replaced thanks to you, the commissioners, and the voters in T-Splost.
What are we expecting to get for that Great All?
I really hadn't thought about that much yet. So we've done really well so far. Hopefully we find somebody who has 3 or 4 of these and needs some parts. Some of it is good, so I would think somewhere between
all these
10.
drive, they're just not, they just got trouble.
This one has trouble, yes. So
Anything we get
$10,000
from right
maybe?
now. And we have a number of vehicles we've got to get going. And TJ this year has been working hard to move these along the line, get rid of them all.
Just curiosity, how much are we putting into the old Big Blue to get it up to sale? I mean, how much are we actually investing in that? Is this, it needs to be repaired, right? I mean, it's not driving.
Yeah, right now it has a bad air line.
Okay.
So we're working on that right now. I don't have the exact numbers as they have not found all the parts yet.
Hopefully it won't be too much.
I need to give TJ a hard time. So TJ, like 2 months or 3 months ago, you brought this whole list of stuff to us that we're supposed to be doing something to it, and then in 90 days, we were gonna have an idea how much this would be. What happened?
So far, we're at $122,000. We're continuing to, everything is being sold, either through online auction or we're taking it in front of
So-
Public
That's the
Works.
water. That's the water for the animal shelter.
Yes, it is.
We have,
Excuse me, I was just,
Yeah, you
just happened to be the.
mixing me up. Okay, so you're saying that list has been compiled?
it has been sold, and now we're going to the next list. And next month I'll be here with another couple of dozen, most likely.
So the second list that the other second list that you put on this were the vehicles that you showed us?
Yes, ma'am. You
And
should have a list of
How
4.
many more were on that other list, the other part of the list?
So far, we've done 17 vehicles and 5 pieces of equipment.
Right, but wasn't it like 50 or 30 or something?
No,
the
ma'am.
whole list?
That's what it was. That was the list.
Okay.
All right, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. All right. TJ, consider a request from Public Works Department to post no parking signs on Crepe Myrtle Drive from Del Webb Boulevard to Evergreen Court. This is in Sun City, Peachtree. Yes, I'm sorry,
Okay.
TJ, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. So we were alerted of a situation by the Homeowners Association of Sun City that they had a severe safety issue with participants and and viewers of the softball games that are occurring there on Saturdays at their softball field. They have 12 softball teams, and what was happening is that their parking lot was becoming full, and then spectators and team members were parking on Crepe Myrtle. The problem is that even in single line parking, you cannot get a fire truck down those roads, and they were actually double parking on both sides of the road. They were trying to handle it themselves. They would send staff out there. They would put cones out. Residents, well, okay, I don't know for sure it was residents, but people that were parking in those areas were kicking the cones away, advising the staff at Sun City that it's public roads, they can park where they want to. And what was happening is that we had no access to any emergency vehicles for 3 streets, which would be Sweet Gum, Crepe Myrtle, and Evergreen. In fact, about a month ago, there was one person who actually lives on Crepe Myrtle. So Saturday morning, the wife needed an ambulance and the ambulance could not get to the house. So we've met with public safety out there, Public Works, Fire, and the Sheriff's Department. We looked at what we could do. We initially thought about going no parking throughout the whole community. A couple days later, myself and the sheriff met, and we feel as though we should do it step by step. So that's why we're recommending no parking just for this particular section of Crepe Myrtle.
Both sides, one side?
Both sides.
Both sides.
So, let me just understand this. Sun City has some activities going on, and they have people who don't live there maybe coming there and parking illegally?
With the, I don't know exactly who, but I'd say it's a
I don't believe
combination.
that's the issue. The issue is there's not enough parking for the softball field for when everybody is playing and all the different games warming up. So what they did is they started, instead of parking, when the parking lot filled, they went to the next street over and started parking there. And then it got to be, hey, that's a really good idea, we'll
Right.
park over there, because it really is in some cases a shorter walk. And then they started parking, and then they ran out of parking spaces on that side of the road, so then they started parking on the second side of the road.
So I hear what you're saying, but I'm also thinking in my head, this is a Sun City problem. Their streets are not wide enough for a vehicle to be parked on it and an emergency vehicle come in. I don't want anyone to miss getting an emergency vehicle, but we're not going out on College Street and cause somebody's having a party or field day and it's blocking everybody's traffic up, we're not putting up signs for that. So I just don't, I'm just saying, Richardson Road, anybody here been around that long? That little lady came up here every day for every meeting for 10 years, fussing about the people parking on the other side of the street. We went out, we put a sign up for them not to park on that side of the street, and then they didn't park on that side of the street in front of her house, but they were in front of somebody else's house. Today, still just the same. So all I'm saying is, to me, it doesn't sound like it's a Spalding County problem. Because if those same people are there, if they can't park on that street, they're gonna park on another street. They're going to the ball game. So where is Sun City prepared for them to park? That's what I'm saying. This doesn't feel like it's a county problem to me. It feels, and I'm looking at you, TJ.
Right.
Not fussing at you.
Oh, I understand. So the streets in Sun City are actually Spalding County streets. They do not belong to Sun City. These are our streets. Sun City has spent several months trying to fix this problem. What they've done is they've emailed everybody. They're encouraging folks to come and carpool, bring golf carts. They've even put staff out there. And since it's public streets, whoever it is, they are not listening to staff. They're telling them that that's a Spalding County street. You can't tell us not to park here. So they've done a pretty good job in trying to alleviate the problem themselves.
So I would feel, I would feel much more comfort if we placed no parking on all the streets. Aren't all the streets the same width?
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
Just picking out a spot
They're not.
and we're
Right.
cherry picking. Either no parking on the street throughout the thingy or parking. I mean, to me, we start picking these two streets that have no parking on, then somebody else doesn't like something else. Maybe their neighbor has a, I don't know, box truck. I don't know what,
No, I understand totally. The issue was, let's start on one and see what that looks like, and if there's any unintended consequences that we don't understand before we go any further. Because there's a lot of streets out there for us to decide we're gonna put up no parking everywhere. So, I think the answer is we made a decision to try it on just one set of streets right now. We only have one softball field. It's just happening, we don't have places that everybody does it.
And how many complaints have we had?
I've the actual number that they received, I don't know. It was brought to our attention, and we went out and verified it was happening. And when you can't get fire trucks down there, and they already had one incident, we felt it was important to address it.
So you guys were out there when you saw how people were parked on the street?
I have not seen that personally, no, ma'am.
Well, if a fire truck is trying to get through there and couldn't get it, I think we probably have to.
Yeah, they have that issue there with just
Last
single
week-
lane parking throughout the whole
Something
community.
happened and we didn't,
It's the only place that we have a softball field like that. Also, the grandkids' park is there at the same exact location to be able to do it. We don't have it at the rest of the places. It's just this one place that we never dreamed we were gonna have halfway through, and we were gonna have 12 teams of playing softball. I'm not trying to, I'm just stating the facts of how it looks like.
Well,
So-
because to me it's a safety issue or potentially could be, I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Does Sun City want no parking signs in Sun City? Okay.
No,
not-
for one street.
For one street. And
That
we'll
tends
see
to be
how
an
that
issue.
is. But the rest of the streets, they're just not near ballparks or anything else. They're just regular streets.
Okay.
All right. I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
What are we gonna do when they start writing no parking or violation citations and Sun City residents didn't come and scream at us? Are we gonna back that up?
Come see me. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
That's all for me.
Mark it down. Clay Davis said. Okay.
Write it down.
Yeah. All right. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. 4. All those opposed? 1. Thank you. Motion carries. Item number 10, consider approval of change order for C.W. Matthews to improve and pave the connecting portion of Pine Hill Road. Dr. Ledbetter.
Yeah, I thought this was in the packet. Apparently, it's not. It is a change order for yeah, actually, it's not a change order for C.W. Matthews. It's a change order for us to issue a TOF for Paragon Engineering to do the engineering work to complete Pine View paving from the area that is currently improved out through the dirt road up to,
Jordan Hill Road.
yes, ma'am. And the cost for that is $188,000. We need this information in order to understand how much the total cost of paving is going to be. So there's a lot of rock in the area that's gonna have to be considered, and some utilities will need to be moved, and that needs to be considered as well. So there is engineering work that needs to be done. Staff recommendation is that we move forward with the TOF with Paragon to do the engineering work to get us in a position where we can issue the paving for this work to move forward.
Do we have every single homeowner that lives on that roads
Yes.
signed?
We actually do.
Want this? Okay. Cause we said we're not paving roads unless you have everyone on the road
100%.
who is giving us their right of way
They,
and signing off on it.
they gave it years ago.
I heard that was still a holdout. But
It's good to
if
check,
if that's
make
no
sure.
longer the case, then, cause we said we weren't gonna pave roads without.
This is, yes, now this is a big dollar variance, so originally we thought it was just so everybody could be transparent, we originally thought it was just gonna be $188,000. To be able, it appears, to be able to do it and get the road resurfaced and paved and everything, it's gonna be close to $1 million. So, this is a big difference from when we originally started talking about it and said it's $188,000 to now that we're looking at it, it's getting closer to $1 million. Well, my recommendation is we look at it and get the $188,000 portion of it done. Let's see what the engineers say it's gonna cost, then we can move forward with this.
I would love to see it get paved, but I also know we didn't plan for that. But I believe that if we have a plan, just as I had talked about, not necessarily our comprehensive transportation plan, but a plan that we have as a county for, connectivity and allowing people to ride bikes and be able to have sidewalks, there is going to be more federal money that will come for project-ready projects. And not just with this project, any other projects, whether it's sidewalks or whatever, that we need
That
to
we're on the
put on
starting block for.
paper,
Yeah.
will be ready and waiting when
We
money
can say,
does.
we can do
right.
with this, yeah.
So I think it's, I mean, yes, I would like to see the road paved, but if this will get us to where somebody can come in and say, there's money right here, you already did your plan, do it. I'd rather do that, I mean, cause I know that's a lot of money we would have to plan for, but if we have the plan, when money comes, we can do something.
Worst case is we can put it on Lemig next year.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay, so right now we're approving the $188,000 to do the change order. That's what we're doing now.
We're doing the 188,000 to approve Paragon to move us forward to develop that plan that Commissioner Flowers just talked about.
Motion to approve.
All right, I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Thank you. Item number 10, report of the county manager.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Ledbetter.
Thank you very much. I'll make mine rather short this evening. Paragon is working on 3 options for the intersection of Jackson Road, Jenkinsburg, and Tomochichi. We're told by Mr. Upson that we should have these options available for us no later than the end of the week for how to make that particular area safer for our motoring traffic. Amelia and Yarborough Mill Road began work last week for getting us ready for chip and seal. McElroy Construction will begin the actual chip and seal work first thing in the morning. And we're being told that that work will be complete by the end of the week as well. We have filming going on in our community over the next 3 weeks. Please use caution in the area of East McIntosh, May 16th through the 27th, on Steele Road and Birdie, May 19th through the 22nd, and North Walker's Mill Road, May 19th through the 21st. Lots of filming going on. Please expect delays. Our comprehensive plan, don't miss out on providing information for our comp plan. There's an online survey that you can answer. Please visit the county's website and respond to the survey. It takes only 10 minutes. Welcome to our 2 Partnership for Inclusive Innovation interns. The PIM program is sponsored through Georgia Tech, and I'm glad to welcome Colin and Dave to our team. They began work today. They will be with us through the summer. They're supporting our work on our high-speed internet and our wireless mesh system that the Board of Commissioners afforded us the chance to put in late last year. The Health Department is offering COVID-19 testing on Tuesday, so if you need the test, please visit the Health Department tomorrow. The last thing I'd like to share with the board this evening is I would like to do an introduction to our new Community Development Director, Ms. Kelly Littlefield.
We're excited.
All right, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kelly Littlefield, and just to put it out there, I'm originally from Alabama, and I do roll with the tide. I am a Troy graduate. I'm actually a 3rd-generation legacy graduate from Troy University. I have 2 undergraduate degrees in history and criminal justice, and I also have a master's degree in public administration where I graduated with 5 different sets of honors and a personal recognition from the governor of Alabama. I do come to you with a lot of experience in planning. I've entered community development at the federal level at Fort Bliss, Texas, as an ADA representative. I've been doing community development, like I said, for over 10 years. Worked with the state of Florida in disaster recovery. I've done historical planning. I've done a little bit of transportation planning. I've done a whole lot of land use planning, and I have been doing comp planning, I'm proud to say, for exactly 10 years. You will be my 23rd comp plan.
Awesome. Wow.
So, not my first rodeo, and I do have my boots on, even though they look like leopard heels tonight. I am ready to hit the ground running. We have identified already a strategy within the staff that we are updating your business license process, so we are ready to go next year. We're also working on developing a standard operating procedure for planning, which I understand has never been done before. Community development, rather, not planning. That's not what they call it here. So we're already identifying these things, listening to the staff, listening to other department heads. In working with the plan review process, we're looking at streamlining and making those things more efficient for you. I don't know what else to say to you other than I have been a public servant for a very long time. However, I am honored to be in a community, and I am privileged to serve your community. I look at your logo, and your motto is with a calm mind or with clear resolve. Everything that's on that logo, everything that's on that seal is an instrument of work. And I'm here to roll up my sleeves and work with you, alongside you, and most definitely for you. Thank you for the opportunity. I would entertain any questions, Mr. Commissioner, Mr. Chair.
Keep coming back.
Yes.
Well, so
We're
far,
glad
this
to
is
have
my,
you, Kelly. Thank you.
this is my second 12-hour day. So I hope that we will plan accordingly, that those eventually will come to an end. But I'm very thrilled to be able to have the opportunity. Spalding County is going places. A lot of different counties in Georgia have taken on the title across my span in Georgia of being the fastest growing county. I want to work with you to put Spalding on the map and make sure that everybody knows what a great place this is in Spalding County. Thank you.
Oh,
Very good.
Thank you. All right,
Kudos to that.
Commissioner Johnson?
Okay, just 3, 4 quick things. I've got to say thank you, Steve, once again, Dr. Ledbetter. I mean, you've brought in some great hires. We have Kelly, we have Marshall here. We've got, I'm just excited about what you've actually done in the short time that you've been a county manager. Well, you don't think you've been here quite a year yet, right?
No,
Almost.
Almost a year.
not quite.
Wow, I don't think you've taken a vacation day yet, but anyway. All right, well, thank you. Also, and congratulations to all the new hires. And I want to say congratulations to TJ and the guys in Public Works. Thank you also very much for all that you do. It doesn't go unnoticed. I like the phrase in the proclamation, substantial contribution and beyond. So just thank you very much, for all that you do. We really, really are fortunate to have you, and we appreciate you and your team. The animal shelter and the work orders, I've got nothing else to say about that. I mean, like I said, once again, I know we're disappointed, but we've got to get it done and taken care of. But I don't even know what we need to do in the future to change that. Because, I mean, like James said, we're not engineers, so I don't know what that's gonna look like, but it doesn't look good. I have got a few calls regarding our decision on the health insurance. I don't know if there's something I need to say out loud or maybe somewhere quiet, but the new insurance company that we're looking to bring on, there's maybe a conversation around coverages and maybe whether or not if those coverages are gonna be anywhere like the coverages we currently have with the current package. And I know that, there's a savings there, but at what cost we're looking at here. I've had a few employees talk to me about that, so, gotta be mindful of that. It's one thing to have insurance, but it's another thing to have good quality insurance, so let's just kind of, look at it before we make any big decisions. That's it.
Okay. All right, Commissioner Bolden?
I was hoping to see the sheriff here tonight because I wanted to personally thank him. But the sheriff and his department, the STEAM units, the CID, the narcotics, GBI was involved. They are actually taking our uprising and gang violence seriously. The city has a lot of good officers working for them. I mean, I was never bad talking, but yeah, I am proud to see our sheriff department in the city working to combat this uprise. I mean, 'cause this is serious. I mean, I worked for the sheriff department almost 10 years, and it was like 10 years of saying, oh, there's no gangs, to now they're here, and
In a big way.
big way. And again, thank you, Chief Deputy. And I have one more thing. I've been getting a lot of calls on everybody getting the voter registration cards in. A lot of the elder people don't understand that the reason they're getting these new change of address cards and everything is because of the redistricting that happened. I didn't know if that's something DeAndre could maybe put out there to clarify, or Ms. Slaughter or something, but it needs to be clarified. Because these people are calling me like, man, I've lived in my house for 30 plus years, and why do I need to change my address now? So, I just want to clear that up.
Yeah, that needs to be.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
Nope, I'm done.
Okay. Commissioner Flowers Taylor?
I would like to know how a resident would go about making a complaint like, the road needs to be cut, or we used to have the the facility dude app. How do people do that now?
Yeah, the Inspalding app is still available, and we encourage people to use that.
So go to the web page or
You go to the web,
put-
you can go to the
download
web page
the
or
app.
you can download the app. Yes, ma'am.
It's in both
I'll show
app
you.
stores, yeah.
Okay, all right,
It's
that
fantastic.
I can tell them.
And that GPS takes care of it.
Yeah, yeah,
All
take
they
a
have to-
picture, boom, it's fantastic.
The question about it usually is, they ask for your email address so they can come back to you and say, you asked for us to cut this, we cut it. Some people say, we don't wanna do that.
Okay, I'll make sure that I look at it, cause I don't wanna try to explain it to somebody else if I haven't done
Like,
it
when I say
myself.
this, the app, the Inspalding app, and also the Sheriff's Department app. Oh, those are two that I highly recommend that we push to
I
download.
absolutely
Their,
agree.
their app is good too.
But not to report public work stuff.
No, but it's just good just to have for us if there's any other incidents we may need to
Yeah,
deal with.
their app pushes out more like emergency alerts and stuff.
So, I don't remember, how many months are we now down the road where the land bank is in recess?
That's right.
So the agreement was that we would not fund through the end of this fiscal year. So it is our plan to bring back to you before July the update from the consultant on how to reformulate the land bank.
The consultant actually, excuse me, Commissioner, was at the land bank meeting, last week, and he indicated that, they should be finished and have a report in 60 days.
Okay, well, that's good. Because what my mind says to me after this young lady came up here tonight with what she was saying is that this is in my district, that same area where those homes were built by square foot to provide new home ownership, there are at least 14 houses that came from land bank property. I am concerned that we're gonna find that we may have some other titles that were not clear. So I know they're not meeting, but just on the list of when action needs to happen, I don't think we should be passing that on to someone who, like, Commissioner Dutton said, you're an engineer, you're supposed to know how to fix this. You're the land bank, you're supposed to know if you're selling property, there's stuff you gotta do. I have been so grateful for Officer Webb, and at the same time, just cannot believe how much junk people have gotten in their yard over the past 2.5, 3 years. I don't know if Public Works has managed to keep the side of the road clean with trash and everything, but, I mean, clearly, when you go behind a house or a building and there's 7 or 8 cars and a big wrecker, I'm thinking the people next door, they can see this. They can see you haven't cut your grass in 3 years, and they're probably thinking something's coming into their yard. But, Officer Webb is very professional, and I admire that, because I just be wanting to stand with my hand on my hip and my head to the side to ask them what is really wrong with you for having your yard look like this. So, there's a lot of work. I'm sure, not just in my district, I'm sure, you guys in the same way. So we will probably be the next year or so, still finding where people have dumped stuff. But I would like to, once I have an opportunity to ride through my district with Officer Webb, I would like to see about doing a neighborhood cleanup. For the past 2 years, the Goldstein's trash and junk place has been closed. They cleaned the entire lot. In the past 2 weeks, there's so much metal over there now, so I'm hoping that some of these people who got these cars is sitting up in their yard will take their stuff to the junkyard, because they're gonna get ticketed for it. You can believe that Marshall's gonna ticket it for them, so, just maybe try to help encourage people to give them an opportunity, sort of like an amnesty day. We'll get something to tow these cars away to the whatever, or you get that extra mattress or wash machine or whatever it is you got in the backyard, drag it up and let's pick some of this stuff up. But I just wanna say again, I appreciate it. We're in bad shape, code enforcement wise, and I'm gonna continue to ask where are the extra people and how can we spread those duties out so that when anybody is driving through the county and they see a bag of trash on the side of the road, they get on in Spalding and say,
Right.
somebody needs to come over here and pick this trash up. Not just keep riding past it for a whole week until the bag is blown open and we got trash everywhere.
Absolutely agree.
I sent, TJ and I sent, Steve an email that I got today about, I can't remember if it's Safe Streets to Home or something like that, where ACCG was letting us know that our state had $1 billion grant to provide safe access for people to walk. So that means like walking up 19 and 41 where we clearly have people living and business and there's no sidewalk there. Or our additional option is we had talked before about trying to make a pathway that will get people from town out to where the aquatic center is gonna be on 16. And if we're eligible for this, and I'm thinking it's a state road, it's a school, it's a city, it's us, that might be something that we can walk into backwards, because we do have a preliminary plan for that, and what can be safer than trying to provide pedestrian access or bicycle access off of a state road, so, we're looking for money. We haven't gotten it yet. Wanted to ask Ryan, where was he standing when he took that picture of that something piece of metal hole in the road up?
That come off a Facebook post from another constituent, took a picture of it and posted it on there.
So, yeah, is this the road that we're doing the chip and seal on?
It is.
It is.
Okay, so is that good or bad?
That was bad at the time, but it is in the works of getting fixed. They're gonna build an actual little retaining wall there and
To hold the-
hold the road back.
Okay, yeah, that's what I
Because
was
that was-
thinking.
Sinkhole.
Excuse my language, that was,
Uh-huh.
crappy.
It's a sinkhole, right? Yeah,
So,
sinkhole.
so this is just our first experimental road, right? So we're getting the kinks out on that one. Okay, I was just wondering, cause what I was seeing was like, no, that sign is not gonna hold that road up right there. Let me see if I have anything else. And I wanna thank Vicki for coming in here tonight. She always gets so excited about helping the animal shelter. I'm very happy to hear that they have, this grant that they, potential draft for a grant, talks about the trap and release program. We have a lot of farmers and a lot of, people who live out on large areas who would be happy to have a cat that's fixed to keep some mice out of their area. So, we were not able to do that before, and I think having a grant that will do that will give these animals an opportunity to live somewhere, but will also decrease the population in our community, because that's one of the reasons why our shelters are filling up, because we don't have a robust spay and neuter program. That's about it. That was enough. Okay.
Okay.
I'm good.
Commissioner Dutton?
All right, I've got 5 things. I'm gonna start at the animal shelter as well. I think it's super cool that there's an opportunity now for volunteers to go and like walk dogs and interact with the dogs. I know my daughter is gonna love doing that, so. When we opened at the grand opening there, she wanted to take every one of those dogs and every one of those cats home.
Cause you all won 2 gifts, didn't you?
And
Didn't y'all
that's
win 2
right.
gifts?
That's right. My daughter won one, and my son won one. So, and now my dog sleeps on both dog beds like this. So, so yeah, super excited about that. I'm never gonna quit harping on the Independence Day parade that's coming up. We need to get all of our groups involved. It's like $20 to participate, but that's less important than getting our groups out and getting people involved. This is a big deal. I'm only gonna stop talking about it right after it's passed, and I'm gonna immediately start talking about the Christmas parade. So, and then when it's passed, I'll start talking about Independence Day
Good,
parade again.
Thank
So we really need to be mindful of that and get our various groups and organizations and ourselves, the county,
Right.
all the, sheriff, everybody out there. The Christmas parade was pretty great, and I'm really excited to see what we can do when it's not cold, so.
And those videos are great too, DeAndre.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome videos.
They
Sorry
help.
about that. Let's say that.
No, they do. We keep talking about the wireless internet system deployment. I'm really excited about it, but I don't know enough about it, and I'd like to know more. So we need to get pricing information, bandwidth information, like what are we gonna do about service calls, you know, like, because I don't know. And so people call and go, what do you think? And I go, I don't know. Well, don't you think we should? Yeah, I've been asking. I don't know. Like, as soon as I know, you'll know. But I think we should do that maybe in some open houses or, you know, town hall meetings or something, but sooner rather than later.
Okay.
On the same stuff, I love what our marshal is doing. Like, I think we have a long way to go before we can kind of perfect the system over there, but we're literally inventing the wheel as far as creating our own marshal system. That said, I think, you know, we can copy and paste best practices from other places, obviously, but those need to be codified. The standard operating procedure needs to come before this board, and there needs to be a set of rules or rules of engagement, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And if that's the sheriff's rules that we implement for our marshal service, whatever they are, but, you know, someone called and said, what's the standard operating procedure? Is there a manual? And I went, I don't know. I don't think so, not that I've seen. So we need to make sure that gets written down and done in a codified way. And it's the same with my last one, and I get a lot of calls, not just as a commissioner, but as a defense attorney, about the new school zone cameras. And
Oh, the school cameras?
it has eclipsed the number of calls I get about potholes, and that's saying something. In fact, I spoke to a gentleman today who said, I'm gonna take every single one of these to jury. I wanna go, and if it costs me a bunch of money, that's fine. If I need to pay you $10,000 to represent me on 1,000 jury trials, he was a little upset. That said, I've reached out both to our city prosecutors and our state prosecutors and said, hey, what's the procedure? Like, how do I challenge this? Where do they fight? And they both went, I don't know. And well, if y'all don't know, nobody else knows, like, what are we doing with this? And the answer is, nobody knows. Talked to the judges and they went, well, somebody's gotta know, like, where do I file an entry on these? What's the procedure? There's not one. Nobody knows. Like, it's a civil action, but like.
There aren't any citations that
No.
have been issued.
Right.
There's not.
Because it was a 30-day grace
Yeah.
period,
Yeah,
so
and-
nobody's gotten a real ticket.
And,
So
and Tony,
that's-
how many warnings has the sheriff's wife gotten?
So this is what I said today on the phone. Oh, these are just warnings.
Right.
No, in fact, some of them have actually paid and sent checks in because these have dollar signs on them.
It
You
says
owe
you will
this
be-
much
it
money.
says you
No,
will
you
be
owe this much money.
No,
Not yet.
I've only seen
Those
one
checks
of
have
them.
come out of their account when they sent and paid them, and they said, I'm not gonna pay them anymore.
We'll
I'm
save
going
it
to
for when
It
they
says
run
this
through
is a
the
warning.
light.
It says.
Yes, it says warning.
They've gotten the warnings, and now they've gotten actual citations with the dollar amount, and they want to challenge them.
Oh, you have?
Get your money.
And I'm going, but I don't, what court does this go to? And none of the courts know. None of the prosecutors know. So what do we do?
Well, you've got your pictures, and you've got the picture of the vehicle and all that on.
So
there.
you
They've got
wanna
you
know
logged
if it goes to state court, or if it goes to Superior Court, if it goes to.
The courts need to know. The courts don't know. I've asked the prosecutors, and they went, well, we'll look into it. Well, I mean, we're talking people called and said, me and my staff have 30 citations total. What are we gonna do with, we wanna challenge these. Where do we challenge them? I don't know. And I called and tried to figure out, and nobody knows.
Talk about that.
So I don't know,
Slow down.
we need to figure out, well, where these are supposed to go, what we're supposed to do, like,
And my understanding from Sheriff Dix is that there should be no citations at
That
this
was my
point,
understanding
that
as well.
there are only
Warning.
warnings that are being issued. And initially, when we were going through the process, I know that, Patrick Shepard was involved in those discussions. I do not recall if Judge Thacker was or not, but my understanding is that civil would go through, in the city, I'm assuming, the municipal court. In the county, I don't know if it was determined if it would be magistrate court or if it would be in state court, but I thought state court.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, and right now, it's my understanding that the sheriff's department's not issuing citations off of the ones that are inside the county, but the city is.
The city, okay, so
city.
that may be
Okay.
the city, and those
Okay,
would
that
be
might be the
municipal
difference.
court.
Because I knew there was supposed to be
Right.
carte blanche warnings right now, just letting people know, hey, this is coming. But like, yeah, okay. Both prosecutors said, I'll look into it and get back with you, but I don't know. So I was like, well, I'm gonna bring this up at the meeting tonight because there needs to be, we know how all the other types of cases go.
Yeah.
And we've created this new thing.
Sheriff Dix just gave a presentation to the Board of Realtors, and that was last week, and said no citations in Spalding County, in unincorporated Spalding
Correct.
County.
Okay, but Griffin has already. So, and
That-
those
that
are going
is-
to municipal court.
That
so.
is correct. That
Okay.
is my understanding. I can't speak for them. I've not had a chance to
Sure.
speak with Jessica, but that is my understanding.
All right, that's all I've got.
Okay. I want to make some comments about things you all talked about also and reinforce them. Vicki, thank you for what you do to energize people to get involved. The energizing of them is extremely important. You pull people in, and that kind of leadership is important. So thank you for what you're doing with that. Same thing with the chief marshal, pulling people in to get that really is important. The chip and seal, this is a pilot. We've got to see how this goes. Hopefully, this is going to be a good thing for us financially, and we're going to be able to take care of things over the long haul. But right now, this is a pilot. We're going to have to do a couple roads and then take some time out to see how that all goes. We have some in Spalding, unincorporated Spalding sewer issues, septic tanks really and truly, that are leaking. We've got to get some emphasis on that. Board of Health checks that, but they're complaint driven, so somebody's got to stand up and say, we've got these, and they're percolating up, and I think the chief marshal got to step into a couple of them and went yuck, and so we'll take care of that. Last Saturday, I was able to go down and watch the cornhole thing done, and really well done. Lots of people having great times in our second Saturday business. Young kids really running around having stuff, a good time. We need poll workers. If anybody can afford the opportunity, if anybody's got the time to be able to do it, we need poll workers badly. This is a few hours of training. For the first time, we are having a shortage of poll workers. It's going to impact if some people don't step forward. These are paid positions to be able to do that. There are long, hard days for that, just the one day that we do it. So I'm asking everybody, if you have the opportunity, please become a poll worker and do that. That's great civic duty, and I will tell you, having done it for years, it will make you feel good at the end of the day. Talking about that same thing, if you haven't voted, please vote. I don't care which way you vote. Take the opportunity to go and vote which way you want our country to go. T-Splosh in June, just like we've said, we've got some money issues to find out about at the end. That's why Jenna is going to come back to us and go through the whole thing and where we stand. We're not putting any more money into Splosh. We're now, so I want to get that money, get it all resolved on where we are with that. I want to say welcome to Kelly Littlefield. We're excited about her being here, and to remind the commissioners, 10 May, we've got the senior issues, 25 May, we've got the senior issue thing coming up at the senior center. This is an opportunity for seniors to come in and say, these are our priorities that we want you all to look at. We will be there to listen to that at the Senior Center, 25 May. All right? Any other comments or anything else? Attorney? County clerk? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I have a second? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion adjourned.
You threw me off. I was ready to raise my
Yeah,
hand.
I
Say aye
was
on it.
trying to keep you working. If you've got a few minutes, let's talk.
Yeah, she went in to grab me right fast.
Okay, yep.